Traffic generation strategies. Direct traffic to your link. Now the golden rule of marketing is pretty simple. You have to make money. You have to drive traffic and convert it. And to do that, you can follow the strategies listed in this video. Now direct traffic to your link basically means that you get traffic and you dump it directly on your affiliate link. You don't redirect, you don't create content with your affiliate link embedded in that content. Instead, you buy traffic and you pump it directly to your link. It's as simple as that. Another way is Facebook ads and Google ads. Now in the case of Facebook, you can buy traffic and direct it to your link or your page. You add a picture and a short description, and you can even target certain interests and populations. So you could say you want it for men over a certain age interested in sport, for example. Then you can make certain guesses regarding the interest profiles that are going to be best suited to your niche, and then use these. Now in Google AdWords, it's slightly different as you select keywords with a high level of intent involved in your niche. So again, you choose things related to your niche that people are searching for. Now the best keywords are ones with buyer intent. This means that they're willing to buy something or they show that they're searching to buy. When you run ads on either of these platforms, the idea is to run enough traffic to see whether it converts. You could use a redirect domain. This means that you take out an ad on somewhere like Facebook or another website, use a domain that you own, that forwards onto the affiliate offer. Now this isn't always possible. It depends on the platform and also on the offer, whether they allow it or not. So do make sure you read the terms of service of the places that you're either buying traffic from or the places that you're sending traffic to. You don't want to fall foul of any rules. Now you can also use targeting URLs. Now these URLs mean that you can see where people are coming from when they click your link. You can also get some tracking URLs that tell you which keyword was used to produce that click. This means you can look and see exactly where your stuff is working and where it's working best. When you've got this sort of information, you can make educated guesses as to which ad buys led to which sales. Now the pros of this is you can get a lot of traffic immediately. But the con is that you can spend an awful lot of money doing it. You shouldn't set up a massive campaign right from the get-go. If you're just learning, then just spend a little amount of money to get used to it. Otherwise you're going to end up spending so much money and not knowing if it actually converts or not. Make sure you're always optimizing for conversions, and by spending little bits and then tweaking and then a little bit more, this means that you can tailor it and make sure you're getting the most out of your money. Direct blogger or authority site outreach. Now another way to get traffic is to pay a blogger or an administrator of a website to publish your content. Now this content has your links in it, and these links can either go to your redirect domain or maybe you'd have a tracking URL. They could also go to some more content of your own which has got your links embedded in it. Now you need to make sure that the blogs that you're asking to put your content out there have authority. You want your content to be relatable as well, so it needs to be in the same sort of niche as the offer you're promoting. The best way to do this is to see if they're open to a test buy. Negotiate a best price for trying this out. You add your tracking URL or your redirect domain, and then you can see whether this traffic is converting or not. Now once you know they've got conversions, you can buy more from them, but not until then. You can optimize what you're spending your money on by seeing what places send you the best traffic, and then you can decide where you're going to put your hard-earned money. Now always focus on conversions when it comes to this. Now the pros of this technique is that this approach you get relevant traffic. These are people that are already interested in your niche. They're reading a blog or something like that that's already related to what you're offering. This means your content will warm them up and they'll be more likely to buy through your links. You could also use this technique to build up your mailing list before you sell them those affiliate products. Now the cons on this is you're probably going to have to spend quite a lot of time and money experimenting with the different third-party publishers. They're not all going to work and they're not all going to be as good as each other. So eventually you'll have a handful that sends consistent sales, but up to that point you're probably going to spend a bit of money. Influencer outreach. Now there's places like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook where you can find influential users. An influential user is someone that's got a great following or someone that runs some sort of page or an admin of a page, and they've got their own crowd that listens to them. Now you shouldn't get too hung up on the idea of how many followers these influencers have. Instead you want the ones with engaged and loyal followings. These could be less than the ones with loads of followers, but they might just be rubbish traffic. Now make sure that they share the same sort of niche as you or the same sort of niche as what you're offering, otherwise there's no point in doing this. Again, you should ask for a test buy and pay as little as possible to see whether what they put out there actually converts. Now you're going to have to give them something like a text link or a photo or a video. It really depends on what platform they're an influencer on. Once you've got some results in and it turns out that they're actually delivering traffic and conversions, then you can start negotiating a best price for a long-term relationship. Now the pros of this is that they have got a massive outreach and you're reaching out to people that are already experts or authorities in whatever niche you're breaking into. This means you're using their credibility, their authority and getting to their audience. Now the cons with this is you might have to spend quite a bit of money again trying to run small tests with different influencers. Then you can find out who really does have the correct influence and who's giving you the best conversions. Now another thing that's sort of a negative on this is that certain influencers might be charging you quite a bit of money. But the fact is, if you've done your due diligence and you spend that amount of money on someone, as long as the ROI is there, it's worth it. You do have to do extensive research for all these things though, and to save time and effort, I would suggest that maybe you should get a virtual assistant. Not so much when you're first starting out, but definitely when you start getting this rolling. There's so many influencers out there that you'd spend a full-time job just trying to contact them. Blogger or authority site outreach for mailing list building. Now when you're building your mailing lists with blogger outreach, you're promoting your mailing list instead of trying to get content published. This means instead of getting them to post content, you're paying them to put your mailing list code on the content they've already got. Now this doesn't always work because some bloggers are very protective of their audience members and others are very insecure and paranoid and think you're trying to pull a fast one with them. So to make this work you will have to be pretty good at negotiating. Now the pros of this is that you're getting these directly onto your mailing list. There's no middle transition for the traffic. You're using their credibility and authority and this means that you can get higher conversion rates and more signups. Now the cons with this are because you're advertising directly to these bloggers and authority site owners, they can feel a little bit paranoid. This means they might well increase the amount of money that they're asking for you to be able to do this. Now the way to get around this is to just contact as many different bloggers and authority site owners as you can. This means you can get the very best price for whatever your niche is. Compare the different deals and get the best one you can. Now if you've already got a bit of a following yourself, then chances are you'll get a lot of good deals. Experiment with these placements and pick the very best and then put your money into those.